Hey everyone, good morning. It's a Monday and it's another week that we get to really focus on what do we get to do, not what do we have to do. So I hope each of you had a wonderful weekend, but it's the start of a new week. What are we going to get done? What are we going to focus on? What are some of the biggest questions that I'm getting? And I think as I monitor and watch what's going on LinkedIn and as I talk to people in the industry, there's still a lot of people that are struggling with how do they do this whole digital, right? Talk to anyone who's related to conferences, and for the most part, most people are expecting the earliest in person conferences are going to be halfway through 2021. They're not going to be this year, probably not going to be at the start of next year. So, understanding how to up your digital game is absolutely critical. And people get caught up in a lot of the things and they say, okay, so Michael, what do I need to do? And I think the key word that comes to me is consistency. And then they're like, oh, okay, well, I don't have enough time to do content. I'm not just talking about consistent content. In my opinion, if you are going to be successful digitally, you've got to first look at what are the mechanisms I'm going to use. Is it going to be email? Is it going to be social media? Is it going to be video? Is it going to be audio? Is it going to be some combination of all of those? Is it going to be virtual events? All of those can be very powerful tools. First thing I would say is don't do any of those in a vacuum. Don't think you can attend just one virtual trade show and now there's going to be 50 million leads coming in. It's not going to happen. So you've got to strategically look at it and say, okay, what are those channels I'm going to use? And then more importantly, let's talk about consistency in those channels. If you're going to do social media and you're going to do LinkedIn, and again, stop the spam. Don't be spamming people. I'm not saying just giving hard sales pitches. But if you're going to embrace LinkedIn, my opinion, there's 3 pillars of being consistent. The first thing you have to be consistent on before you worry about what to post and how to post and if it's going to be a video or not, the first thing you have to focus on is what are you doing to create and establish more connections and better connections and engage and get connected with other people, right? Because if you have the greatest post that nobody sees, who cares? So when we talk about consistency, don't just jump to the posting. First, you have to be consistent each and every day of making new connections. With the free version of LinkedIn, you can do up to 40 free connections a day. Oh, Michael, I don't have that time. Then commit to 5. 5 connections a day, 5 days a week. That's 25 new people that you can get to know. That's 25 more people that you can interact with each week after week, month after month, year after year. That's how you build up a following. That's how you build up a tribe and a network. Second part is you got to post. And not just post sales pitches, right? Stop the spam. We don't want that. What you need to post is genuine, authentic content, right? You have to post content that is going to add value to other people. And then the third one, and this is the other part that most people totally fail at from a consistency perspective, is engage with other people's content. I've said this before. If you don't engage with other people's content, why are you surprised that they're not engaging with yours? And as Chelsea Pites would say, don't just do a social drive-by. Don't just click like and say, hey, I engaged with 10 people today. No, find something that you like that they had to say. Find a point in their video that really drew you to them or had some impact or something that you could apply, right? So those are just 3, but look at consistency across the board, right? Are you being consistent with cleaning up your database? Oh, Michael, we're sending out emails. Stop. When's the last time you've updated your database and cleaned your database and added new contacts to your database, right? It's not just blasting out emails. The same thing goes from spamming people on email just as it does through social. Quit doing it. If you have something of value, if it's genuine and if it's authentic, then great. Send it out. And where people struggle with that consistency is finding the right cadence and frequency of how to send something out. You're not going to cold call someone every day, 20 times a day, right? But if during the week they got a phone call from you and maybe they got an email that added value and they saw one of your social posts and you interacted with your post, that's how you develop dynamic outreach. That's how you enhance engagement. So as we look through this week, the first question I would have is, why not take the leap now? If you're going to do digital, if you're going to do social, if you're going to get better at this social selling, start now. There was a great phrase, it's a commercial I've seen from Under Armour, and it says, the only way is through. The only way is through. We're dealing with a pandemic. We're dealing with historically high rates. Loan officers tell me how busy they are, and they're just trying to get through the day. Well, you still have to plan. What are you doing for your purchase market? How are you handling changes, right? Because things can go away very quickly. We saw that last week with the new GSE announcement, right? 50 basis points. How many people did that wipe out of your pipeline in an instant? So you've got to start strategically planning. You've got to figure out how to embrace what you're doing on the social perspective if you want to have consistent results. So let's go out there. Let's make it a great week. Take the leap. If you have questions, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to discuss this with you. But let's go out there and let's make this a fantastic week. Have an amazingly blessed day.